Well, Heather and I have both had weddings within the last year, so we're still in that kind of honeymoon phase. And being fresh out of wedding season, many couples are in that same boat.
So we are asking our relationship expert, Kat Robey, today, what are some issues that affect newlywed couples? So, Kat, I think this is great timing. You're dealing with two newlyweds here, obviously.
Yeah.
So really kind of hit on what are some of those issues that we face in that first year of marriage?
Oh my gosh, everything all at once.
Yeah.
So, but to break it down, moving in together, living in the same space, doing things together, whether it's chores or activities, how to decide what you're going to do, how to decide who's going to take care of what. I mean, it all kind of happens all at once. A lot of the different segments that we've done happen all in that first few months, first year. So the other thing is, just coming off of a wedding, everything's pure excitement and everything's all about that day and all the details and everything like that. And then all of a sudden it's done.
I was telling people right after the wedding, of course, I'm elated to be married and I love my husband, but I was a little sad. I almost said it was like a wedding hangover those first couple of days because I was like, it's just done.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody went home. Nobody's asking me questions. I'm not talking to my vendors every day. And my husband is extremely smart because he got me honeymoon planning right away to try to give me a new project to take care of. But it's kind of like a hangover, right?
Like the post-wedding blues.
Yeah.
And it's true because you do kind of go into this life rather quickly. And part of what I think we can fall into is going into day-to-day life thinking now we live together, now we have all this time that we're spending together, but it's really not quality time that we're spending. So moving right into planning a honeymoon is fantastic. Or move into planning a date night every week or something that's intentionally you creating the relationship that you want, because otherwise life starts to take over. Maybe you have big goals of saving money or sending kids to college or, we start thinking big stuff when you get married, and that and all of the work that goes into it starts to become the daily everything. And suddenly you don't realize you're not talking to each other and you're not spending time the way that you used to.
That's such a good point. And I know there are other adjustments that we can even make when we're talking to each other, how we listen to each other. So maybe dive into those. I know we get comfortable and that daily grind really kind of like takes its toll on you.
Definitely. The first thing I think is just, do you actually look at each other when you say good morning, goodbye, good night, sending each other out into your day? Just take an extra 2 seconds and look into his eyes or her eyes and, maybe say I love you or have a good day. But that kind of, just even in a second or two, you can be intentional. Thinking about the daily activities and things, chores are not going to be handled the same. The level of cleanliness may not be the same expectation level. So being able to speak to a person respectfully, I kind of think about having the same kinds of conversations. Like you might sound very critical or judgmental in some of these kinds of conversations with your partner because you want things done a certain way or things like this. But imagine having the same kind of conversation with a coworker or a boss. How would you use language differently? Because you kind of have to be respectful in those situations. We're really just talking about being respectful, honoring your partner, and sometimes, you do have to find a place to work from with that. You kind of have to work a little bit at it. We're not always at our best. But at the same time, that's kind of the thread to hold on to is who do you want to be in any given moment? Are you okay with the fact that you're talking to your partner very critically or, kind of nagging about things or dismissing things that might be a concern? All of these are things to check into to be able to say, am I coming from the best place in me?
Do you find that to kind of be common that newlyweds maybe come in for counseling or to kind of get things situated? Is that pretty common? Because I would think that some people think I just got done with a wedding. Maybe I'm a little ashamed to maybe go see a counselor or ask some questions right now because you're supposed to be that newlywed.
Yeah, oh my gosh, no, it's the best thing to do. And actually I get a lot of people before the wedding that want to come in because things aren't necessarily going along the way that they thought they should, which is part of the problem, right? We have all these expectations. It's supposed to be just fairy tale romance all the time. No, actually, it's a little bit more than that. And so even being able to have a neutral environment to talk about some of these things, like talking about kids, talking about religion, talking about family and future stuff, that's a big deal. Yeah. And so to bring all of that onto the table with whatever defenses you might have about it, that's really what we start talking about. It's not necessarily a communication problem in the sense that the words and everything are coming out right, but oh my gosh, we're not dealing with whatever fears might be there. Will I be accepted? Is this, is this something I can talk to my partner about? Am I going to be criticized or judged? Those are the places where we start to kind of wall off a little bit. Then communication starts to wane and then we're in kind of a gridlock place, then you really need to talk to somebody. So hopefully within this, I'm glad you mentioned that, counseling of any sort can be something that just keeps things lubricated so you can keep moving along and doing your best in life.
Well, that sounds like the green light. We definitely want people to get a hold of you, Kat. And of course, if they, need any more relationship, like we said, we're in that honeymoon phase. We're in, that newlywed phase. There's going to be a lot of adjustment, but you make it very clear with us, kind of go with it. Make sure that you're being open, communicative. Take that little moment in the morning just to look them in the eye and say, I love you and have a good day.
Absolutely.
That's why we have you here, Kat. And for more relationship advice, call Kat Robey at 906-3392 or go online to robeycounseling.com.